Welcome to the survival world. Forget your past. Forget your comfort. There's only one rule: survive. Armed with nothing but a treehouse seed, you must find hope and build a home in a jungle crawling with danger. Chapter 71. Blood-patterned cat. Ian pulled the trigger and fired another bolt at the rapidly approaching blood-patterned cat. The cat, sprinting full speed toward him, had no choice but to dodge the incoming bolt. However, the crossbow bolt was too fast, and the cat's explosive speed too strong. It couldn't fully change direction in time. The poison bolt grazed its body, leaving a streak of blood. This shot not only slowed the cat, but also injured it. Not bad for the top crossbow below purple rank. Ian muttered, quickly loading another bolt. The blood-patterned cat, now hurt, became furious, shrieking hoarsely as it surged forward even faster, closing the distance between them. Silver King, speed up. Howl. Silver King galloped at full force. Ian fired again, but the cat, having learned from the previous shot, dodged as soon as he raised the crossbow. The bolt flew past, barely missing. Damn. This cat is fast. Seeing the distance closing, Ian steadied himself, grabbed a stone from the ground, and threw it at the pursuing cat. The cat instinctively dodged. In that instant, Ian fired again. Meow. With extreme speed and force, combined with the cat's own explosive charge, it couldn't react in time. The bolt struck the upper right side of its head, piercing through. A sharp scream followed, and one of the cat's ears flew off in a spray of blood. Nice. However, Ian didn't have time to reload. The earless blood-patterned cat exploded forward again, eyes blazing red, claws raised, charging straight at him. He quickly sheathed the crossbow and drew his new spear. Come on, let's see what this new weapon can do. The cat neared him, leaping off a tree trunk with its hind legs to spring toward him. Its oversized claws, gleaming menacingly, swiped at him like Wolverine's claws. The claws were long, but the spear was longer. Ian gripped the spear with both hands and thrust it forward as the cat lunged. The spear struck with deadly precision. The cat dared not continue its attack, but its momentum carried it forward, forcing it to block the spear with its claws. The clash of metal rang out, sparks flying from the friction. The thrust stopped the cat in its tracks, leaving it about 10 meters behind Ian. Both the spear tip and the cat's claws were special parts of mutated beasts, making them nearly evenly matched. Looks like to actually damage the claws, I'll need the altar dagger, Ian thought while reloading his crossbow. But he didn't draw the dagger, too small for long-range combat, and getting close would be suicidal. Just a few meters, the cat lunged again, claws swiping toward him. Ian fired a bolt while using the spear to block. The claws were stopped again, but the bolt pierced through the cat's right chest. The combined impact of the spear and bolt flipped the cat onto the ground. It rolled, jumped up again, screaming, and lunged at Ian once more. This thing refuses to back down, really lost its mind. Ian braced himself. He could feel the cat's strength waning compared to before. It's tiring out. Ian grinned. Yip yip. Suddenly, Coco tugged at him, and even Silver King slowed down. What's wrong? Ian felt a new sense of danger from behind, not from the cat, but from the direction Silver King was heading. Glancing at the map, he panicked. Silver King, turn, left. Ahead, a bright red dot remained stationary. Less than a few dozen meters away, it was a tiger. It had returned and was lying in wait, preparing to ambush prey. Silver King executed a sharp turn. The cat, charging again, missed its mark and ended up right in the tiger's attack range. From the bushes, an orange-red massive tiger pounced on the cat. Holy! This tiger must weigh 400 or 500 kilograms. Ian exclaimed. The sub-100 kg blood-patterned cat seemed tiny compared to the massive tiger. The cat, injured and reckless, didn't dodge, swiping at the tiger. Bold little guy. Ian was stunned. He stopped Silver King at a safe distance to watch. Though both were felines, it's common for big cats to prey on smaller cat species. Size doesn't matter. The tiger, surprised by the cat's defiance, pinned it under its paw, aiming to bite its neck. But the cat's claws, enhanced by mysterious power, stabbed deep into the tiger's leg. The tiger jumped in pain, revealing deep blood holes on its leg. These claws are strong. Su Xian marveled. Without his spear, he would have been helpless, just like Ji Qiuyang yesterday. The blood-patterned cat leapt up and hissed, threatening the tiger. The tiger roared, shaking the forest, and pinned the cat again. Su Xian murmured, the cat's meat must be contaminated like those rabbits. If the tiger eats it, it could die or mutate. If the former, he'd lose materials. If the latter, a mutated tiger? He couldn't imagine this moment. He had no power to intervene. The tiger was far beyond single-man combat range. Don't mutate, die, die. Su Xian silently prayed, watching the tiger. The tiger bit the cat's neck, snapping it instantly. Killed a contaminated, mutated wildcat. Gained 500 points. Hearing the notification, Su Xian breathed a sigh of relief. The points were his. The cat had been sacrificed through his efforts, wounded and exhausted. Taking credit for its death was only fair. Chapter 72. The tiger poisoned to death. With the blood-patterned cat's neck snapped by the tiger, Su Xian received the kill notification. From a distance, the tiger continued tearing at the yellow-white, blood-patterned cat. My beast hide. Su Xian felt a twinge of regret. The cat's meat didn't matter, but its hide, torn by the tiger, would become shredded, losing him a blue-grade resource. The tiger showed no sign of stopping. Even from afar, the air was thick with blood, stirring Silver King's instincts. Mutated meat was a deadly temptation for wild beasts, but it's still alive. Su Xian frowned, seeing the tiger full of vigor. Does it have to be cut with a boning knife to gain that property? No way. Mutated beast meat is mutated whether cut or not. Yep. Coco suddenly called out in confusion. What is it, Coco? Coco pointed at the tiger and then flopped onto Su Xian's shoulder, acting completely limp. You mean, this tiger is going to die? Yep. Coco nodded. Su Xian looked closer. The tiger seemed normal, still eating, just as he wondered if Coco was wrong. The tiger suddenly stopped moving. No struggle. No roar. No frenzy. It staggered a few steps forward, then collapsed, motionless. Killed jungle tiger, gained 200 points. Brilliant. The points counted toward him. However, the score was far lower than for a mutated beast, even though it killed the blood-patterned cat in 2 turns. Clearly, the mysterious voice had mutated creatures as the primary target. Of course, if Su Xian hadn't exhausted the blood-patterned cat first, the tiger would not have killed it so easily. One swipe from the cat could have torn the tiger's leg into pieces. Given its claws could shred tree trunks. Su Xian looked at Coco with curiosity. How did you know it was going to die? Yep. Coco tilted its head. Apparently, asking wouldn't yield an answer. This little creature remained mysterious. Su Xian realized that the only one he could completely trust right now was the silly wolf beside him, drooling over the cat's body, seemingly forgetting it had once been a wolf king. Don't even think about eating it, or you'll end up like that tiger, dead. Su Xian warned Silver King, sensing the wolf might rush forward. A woo. Silver King lay down, covering his nose and eyes with his paws. Typical husky behavior. Out of sight, out of mind. Su Xian tossed some meat to Silver King and walked toward the cat and tiger corpses. Being the fisherman is nice. This mutated wildcat helped me eliminate a big threat. He checked the map. Originally, there were 3 bright red dots around the altar. Now only 2 remained. The tiger's materials were unfortunately lost. Su Xian drew his boning knife and began cutting the shredded blood-patterned cat frowny face obtained. Shredded mutated wildcat skin, green. Mutated wildcat tendon, blue. Mutated wildcat bone, blue. Contaminated mutated wildcat meat, gray, 30 kilograms. Mutated wildcat claws, blue. X2, because the skin was torn, it downgraded to green grade. Only 30 kilograms of meat remained. However, Su Xian's focus was on the mutated wildcat claws frowny face. Mutated wildcat claws, blue material for crafting weapons, can replace metal blocks, creating extremely durable and sharp weapons. As expected, this special material functioned like rabbit ears, usable only for weapon crafting. Su Xian felt slightly disappointed. He wanted to craft a full set of reinforced armor. Blue-grade armor didn't hold up well against mutated beasts. If he could craft armor with the hardness of his spear, able to withstand mutated beast attacks, his survivability would improve greatly. After storing the materials, Su Xin examined the tiger's corpse. Even though it likely yielded no usable materials, he tried anyway. Despite dissecting the tiger thoroughly, no loot appeared. Instead, its meat glowed a strange purple red, clearly poisonous. Could this poisoned meat attract other wild beasts? Su Xin pointed to the cut meat on the ground. Coco, do you want to eat this? Yep. Coco shook its head, covering its nose, taking a few steps back, clearly repulsed by the smell. Seems like you can't get materials from poisoned beasts, just ordinary meat and skin. Though expected, it was a pity. This was a tiger, likely holding rare materials he'd never collected. Su Xin mounted Silver King, with Coco climbing onto his back. Let's hunt for a while. There's still half a day, can't waste it. 2 altar pillars remained unmarked, the pig statue pillar and the wolf statue pillar. Su Xin didn't plan to summon them today. They were much larger than cats or rabbits. He wasn't confident he could defeat them yet. After the blood-patterned giant event, the surrounding hills made him uneasy. He preferred not to linger here unless necessary. Before leaving, he rode through the resource area, hunting and searching for blue-grade resources, finding quite a few, including new resources. This, an apricot tree? Su Xion's eyes lit up at a blue glowing apricot. He quickly picked a plump fruit frowny face apricot, blue consumable fruit. Sweet and sour taste. Gradually restores stamina over 1 hour. A stamina restoring fruit. Red berries granted night vision. Oranges restored spirit. And now apricots slowly restored physical strength. With sufficient resources, he might never need to rest. He harvested 120 apricots from this small tree. So many. Not sure how often it fruits. Can't tell since I didn't plant it. Su Xian wanted to transplant the tree to his own resource area, but his shovel couldn't do it. Wait, does a blue-grade iron shovel allow planting? Iron tools didn't require blueprints, like his grill or weapon crafting table. Before obtaining gold chests, he could craft them. Li Wenxi had likely replaced all tools with iron ones that Su Xian sent her a message. Did you make an iron shovel? Can it transplant plants? No immediate reply. She was likely hunting. Yip yip. Coco, half asleep on Su Xian's shoulder, stirred, licking his cheek playfully. You want some? Su Xian shook an apricot. Yep. Coco nodded, and Silver King also watched eagerly, tongue out. Su Xian tossed one to Coco and one to Silver King. Silver King caught it perfectly. He patted Coco's little head as she nibbled the apricot, then popped a blue apricot into his own mouth. That a gentle warmth flowed from his heart to his limbs. Though it didn't completely dispel fatigue, it felt like lying on a soft sofa, and he could feel his stamina slowly restoring. The stamina recovery seemed to balance out the consumption from jogging. If I eat an apricot before activity, as long as I don't exert too much, I can maintain peak condition. Full of renewed energy, Su Xian continued hunting. Chapter 73. Hunting activity. In Su Xian was cutting up the wild boar in front of him. For some reason, this wild boar had strayed alone in the forest. Su Xian rode Silver King and struck with a single spear thrust, decapitating the boar without hesitation. Now, wild boars posed no threat to him at all. The effect of that koi fish really came in handy again. The boar yielded a blue-grade hide. Su Xian now had 2 blue hides and 2 blue bones. He needed 2 more of each to craft a full set of blue-grade leather armor. His goal was to gather all materials today. He wondered what the armor's effect would be. After storing the materials, his watch vibrated. It was a message from Li Wenxi. I made a blue-grade iron shovel. It does have a transplanting function, but the success rate is only 50%. However, the chance to extract seeds becomes 100%. Only 50% success. Su Xian wondered if the koi's effect could influence it. Still, as long as it wasn't guaranteed, he would not attempt transplanting. Over 100 fruits were sufficient for now. No need to rush. This transplant function was genuinely useful. With a 100% success tool, he could use fertile soil to continuously plant various fruit trees and shrubs. Eventually, he could open a fruit store for profit. For now, he focused elsewhere and replied, Got it. Keep it up. Aim for the top 10. Li Wenxi responded quickly. Humph. With blue-grade armor and a crossbow, I'll slaughter everything. You might not even beat me. Su Xian chuckled. He had already killed 2 mutated beasts, so he replied, "We'll see tonight who wins. I'm going back to hunting now. Good luck." He glanced at the regional chat. 6,154 survivors remained. Many had died again during this activity. 50 more would be eliminated. He wondered how long the rest could last. Looking at the sky, the sun was already leaning westward. Gotta gather all materials before the event ends. Su Xian continued hunting, riding Silver King through the forest at full speed. His crossbow never rested, and he had broken several bolts already. As the sunset painted the sky red, Su Xian finally obtained the last blue-grade bone from a deer, completing the materials for a full blue-grade leather armor set. Finally, all materials gathered. The koi effect was indeed useful. In addition to the blue hides and bones, he obtained a blue-grade venom sac from a snake. Frowny face venom sac, blue high-level material containing all the venom of a snake. Can be used to craft poisoned arrows or poison weapons, greatly increasing potency. Uses 3. Compared to a green-grade sac, this blue one had stronger venom and 3 uses. 1 use could poison 20 arrows. 3 uses 60 powerful arrows. Su Xian planned to try poisoning his iron-tipped spear. He checked the time on his watch. Half an hour left in the event. After 2 days of hunting, he had accumulated over 2,000 points, with 1,000 from killing mutated beasts. Could this place him first in the ranking? Only Ji Chaoyang posed a real threat to the top spot that Su Xian didn't rush back yet. He returned to the altar, remembering yesterday's lesson that he first offered the pig tusk offerings, raising the progress of the pig statue pillar more than halfway, then placed the ritual knife back in its original spot. Next, he visited the salt mine cave to collect the remaining 100 kilograms of salt. Time to head back. Coco had fallen asleep on Silver King's back, now accustomed to gripping the wolf's fur with all 4 paws, and would not fall off even in her sleep. "Let's go, Silver King." Su Xian mounted and rode toward the treehouse. Awoo. Silver King howled and sped toward the treehouse. That on the way back, Su Xian didn't spare any wild beasts. When he returned, he saw several animal corpses pinned to the ground and trees with heavy crossbow bolts. The 2 on the ground had been partially eaten by other beasts. He collected the remaining loot, and the mysterious voice sounded in his ears. Frowny face, hunting exploration activity ended. Congratulations to all returning survivors. You are now a seasoned hunter. You must have earned many points. The point exchange store will open soon, where survivors can purchase supplies. Current region ranking announced. Top 100 will receive rewards. Please check the screen in your treehouse. The last 50 survivors have 10 minutes to say goodbye. Su Xian didn't have time to go back. He swiped open his watch and accessed the leaderboard. 2 options appeared: Jungle Exploration Event and Jungle Hunting Event. He selected the latter. Beautiful. Seeing his name at the top, Su Xian clenched his fist. Ji Chaoyang had been a real competitor, and he had little confidence he could secure first place. After all, first and second prizes differed, affecting future survival. First place, Su Xian, points, 2054. Second place, Ji Chaoyang, points, 1863. Third place, Wen Guixin, points, 1586. Fourth place, Zhao Xiaochuan, points, 636. Fifth place, Qin Yunhu, points, 605. 6,087th place, Lu Rini, points, 0. The top names were familiar. Their weapons and armor were superior, so being overtaken was unlikely. Seeing Ji Chaoyang, nearly 200 points behind, Su Xian couldn't help smiling. 2 consecutive events at first place had cemented his status. Regionally and among the explorers, few would doubt his strength. What shocked him most wasn't Ji Chaoyang. It was Wen Guixin, who scored 1,586 points. Without the mutated beast kills, Su Xian only had 1,054 points. Ji Chaoyang, 863. Even spending all hunting time on other beasts couldn't yield over 1,500 points. Below Wen Guixin, fourth place Zhao Xiaochuan had nearly 1,000 points less, a cliff-like gap. Moreover, Wen Guixin hadn't completed 3 treasure chests in previous events, unlike Su Xian and Ji Chaoyang, who had mount contracts. She also lacked their mobility advantage. Could she have altars near her treehouse? Su Xian wondered, then dismissed it. No. If altars appeared randomly within treehouse areas, someone would have discussed it in the regional chat. Ji Qiuyang and I discovered ours over 3 kilometers away. This woman was truly extraordinary. Chapter 74. Special items back in the treehouse. Su Xian took off his gear and threw the salt he had mined into the salt extraction distiller. Currently, no one was selling salt on the trading platform. Apart from Ji Qiuyang, no one else could make a salt extractor. Su Xian could earn a fortune from salt if he chose to sell it. While preparing dinner, he checked the newly appeared point exchange store. For some reason, the store was still grayed out, inaccessible. Shaking his head, Su Xian opened the regional chat. Whoa. Su Xian, 2,000 plus points. I only have 20 points. Su Xian beats 100 of me. Su Xian is insane. Ji Qiuyang also has 1,800 plus points. Unbelievable. Notice anything? The top 3 haven't changed from last time. Same people. Wow, this girl Wen Guixin is so strong. Nearly 1,000 points above 4th place. Girl? Call her master. You don't get to call her a girl. The gap between the top 3 and the rest is insane. Advertisement pops up. Healing herbs, now available on the trading platform. Injured survivors can exchange now. Limited quantity, first come, first served. Perfect timing, I just got injured. Got it. Is someone trolling? And aren't the prices too high? Guys, I'm in the top 100 and get extra rewards. Su Xian is really mine. Master, carry me. I'm Gauze. I'm Gauze. I'm Gauze. Wait, that's Wang Lei, ranked 10th on the leaderboard. Masters have such strange hobbies. This time, the last 50 in the regional chat were mostly silent. Having given up, Su Xian chuckled at Wang Lei's comment. Meanwhile, the Explorer group chat was lively. Zhao Xiaochuan. Congrats to Su Xian, Ji Qiuyang, and Wen Guixin for taking 1st, 2nd, and 3rd again. You're way ahead of me. And Wang Lei, am I above you? Wang Lei. I already posted that in regional chat. Zhao Xiaochuan. Whoa, you really posted? So straightforward. Wang Lei, I accept the outcome. Zhao Xiaochuan. Awesome, brother. But 1 post is enough. No need for 10. Wang Lei. I already posted them all. Zhao Xiaochuan. Legend. Li Wenxi. I'm only 8th. Last time I was 4th. I even told Su Xian I could beat him this time. Embarrassing. Ji Qiuyang. All 9 of us in our organization are in the top 20, with the top 5 occupied. Our organization has truly established its reputation. Keep it up. Zhao Xiaochuan. Got it, Chief G. Wang Lei. Chief G sounds like a company leader. Meanwhile, in a 2-story treehouse, a woman in blood-stained iron armor glared at the leaderboard, teeth clenched. Even with the helmet covering her head, her beautiful face was visible, though her expression twitched in frustration. Why? Hunting is my specialty, so why are these 2 still ahead of me? Wen Guixin repeatedly logged in and out, eventually accepting reality and slumping to the floor. The clash of her armor against the floor brought her a brief moment of clarity. Could the gold treasure chest contain more than just contracts for high-level weapons and armor? She refused to accept this outcome. The past few days, she had hunted tirelessly using her acquired abilities and blue-grade fruits, running herself into exhaustion. The excitement of chasing 1st place had kept her going, but now she couldn't accept this result. Could it be that these 2 have the same abilities as me? Finally, utterly exhausted, Wen Guixin gave up pondering and sighed. She resolved to ask those 2 about it later. Su Xian sat by the grill, petting Coco while roasting meat. Coco, comfortable in his arms, closed her eyes in contentment. 10 minutes later, the last 50 participants disappeared from the regional chat. The mysterious voice sounded again. Frowny face. Rewards for the top 100 survivors are as follows. 1st place, permanent 30% off in the point exchange store. 2nd to 10th place, permanent 20% off in the point exchange store. 11th to 100th place, permanent 10% off in the point exchange store. The point exchange store is now open. Other survivors, keep striving to reach the top 100. This event concludes. To reward top performers, the Dungeon Treasure Hunt event will begin tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Survivors, please look forward to it. No time to rest. The next day would bring a new event. labeled as a reward that Su Xin made a mental note. Dealing with the piranhas would have to wait. Dungeon treasure hunt. Su Xion's heart tensed at the word underground. He knew full well what dangers lurked below. This event would be high risk, but high reward. Likely more dangerous than the initial wild beast uprising. Better prepare today. He opened the point exchange store. With first-place rewards and his large point total, he could afford many items. The items were surprising. Mostly functional tools. A blue-grade item caught his eye. Frowny-face large flower pot. Blue furniture. Can hold blue-grade fertile soil. Place inside treehouse to accelerate plant growth. Place near a window. Cost 300 points, 210 discounted. A flower pot. He could now plant indoors, even accelerating growth. Previously, he had to protect young trees outside, constantly rebuilding fences to prevent beasts from trampling them. With this, he could bring precious fertile soil indoors. A steal at 210 points with the discount. Next, frowny face natural organic fertilizer. Blue converts normal green soil into blue-grade fertile soil. Sprinkling on blue soil accelerates growth. Uses 1. Cost 500 points, 350 discounted. This could create fertile soil. Perfect with the flower pot that Su Xian had encountered only 2 fertile soil spots. One at his treehouse, another below with a growing apple tree. He couldn't guarantee successful transplantation of that apple tree, so he hadn't touched it. With this fertilizer, he could produce fertile soil at will. Blue-grade fertilizer was expensive, 500 points without discount, affordable only to top 10 survivors. Green-grade fertilizer cost just 5 points, easily within reach for most. Scrolling further, Su Xian found something interesting. Frowny-face beast statue, blue furniture. Place inside treehouse. Increases combat strength of allied beasts and pets within protection range. Non-stackable. Cost 500 points, 350 discounted. A statue that boosts pet strength? Such mystical items existed. Su Xian looked at Coco in his arms. Unlike Silver King, Coco didn't show on the map. Only Silver King was recognized as an ally. Perhaps this statue wouldn't affect Coco much. Even if the boost was minor, Coco's ability to sense danger and opportunity was invaluable. There was also a human statue, Blue, which increased the survivor's combat ability, a must-have. After all, personal strength was the key to survival. Many other items were intriguing but not directly useful for survival. Some, like a hair growth comb, whitening mask, or height-increasing shoes, would be highly marketable on Earth. Even items like special papaya, Blue, or permanent god oil, Blue, required significant points, mostly over 300, out of reach for ordinary players. Su Xian smirked. These items are basically here to tempt survivors into spending points. Some items had minor utility, like the weight loss pill, Blue, which reduced body size instantly but caused 1 day of weakness. Not useful for Su Xian, but potentially life-threatening for weaker players in this harsh world. With such high-point items, Su Xian realized future events and hunting would likely yield more points. Chapter 75. Exchange, Exchange, Exchange. Su Xian looked at his 2,054 points and felt rich. First, the human statue, Blue, was a must-have, costing 350 points. The moment he clicked Confirm Purchase, a prompt appeared in his mind. Frowny face, please choose placement. Su Xian placed it on the left side of the big screen. Instantly, a human-sized statue crashed into position. This is me? Su Xian curiously examined the statue. It was an exact replica of him, carved in his likeness. Wearing the original beginner set, he waved his arm. And surprisingly, he felt a little lighter than before. Magical. Next, he spent another 350 points on the beast statue, Blue, placing it on the right side of the screen. This statue wasn't a replica of Silver King or Coco, but the mythical creature he had seen on the 3 treasure chests, a creature resembling both a Qilin and a chimera. The statue was vivid and majestic, exuding the aura of a divine beast. Coco, feel anything? Su Xian stroked the little creature's head. Yep. Coco tilted its head, confused. Silver King, lying nearby, suddenly stood up and howled. It could sense the effect, while Coco could not. The statue didn't affect Coco. Su Xian continued exchanging frowny face large flower pot, Blue. 210 points, Natural organic fertilizer, blue. 350 points total spent. 1,260 points. Remaining, 794 points. The flower pot was huge, nearly a meter tall, about the size of a bathtub. One portion of green-grade soil fit perfectly inside. This ceiling is a bit low, Su Xian frowned. The treehouse's first floor was just over 3 meters tall. After subtracting the flower pot height, there was barely over 2 meters left, too low for fruit trees. Even pruned, apple trees would easily reach 3 to 4 meters. He could ignore growth up to 10 meters, though he checked the treehouse renovation option from the silver treasure chest. No option to remove the floor. Fine, I'll just plant smaller plants indoors for now. He wanted to experiment with plants he didn't have, discovering new effects and enriching his collection of functional fruits and vegetables. In the Explorer group chat, he wrote, "Let's summarize the effects of all blue-grade fruits and vegetables and exchange resources." Reactions came quickly. Ji Chuyang spoke first. "I had the same idea. We can share known effects of blue-grade foods. If possible, I'll compile and post it to the regional chat." When Guixin asked, "Why post it to them?" Su Xian explained, "The blue-grade resources on the trading platform are scarce. There's no food crisis now, and green-grade food doesn't last long. Most won't actively search. But if they know the effects of blue-grade foods, some will collect and trade, increasing supply." Ji Chuyang. Exactly same thought as Su Xian. Su Xian and Ji Chuyang's agreement energized the chat. Zhao Xiaochuan. "They want to grow new things indoors. Great, I want it too. But after buying the human statue, I have almost no points left." Wang Lei. "I only have red berries. Eating them gives 2 hours of night vision." Ji Chaoyang. "Oranges improve mental state. Apples briefly enhance strength." Su Xian noted, "Apples boost strength." That was valuable. But his outdoor apple tree wouldn't bear fruit for 3 to 4 days, which, given the frequency of these events, meant waiting at least 2 events. Su Xian added, "Apricots slowly restore stamina. Mushrooms increase intelligence." Others shared as well. Qi Shuefa. "Bleeding grass heals injuries quickly." Qin Yunlong. "Waterweed allows underwater breathing for half an hour." Su Xian's eyes narrowed at waterweed, a strategic resource enabling underwater exploration or escape from monsters. He needed to trade for some. Ji Chuyang. "Got it, noted." Qi Shuefa. "If you have medicinal materials, trade them to me. I can make use of them." Medicinal materials? Su Xian recalled the snake gallbladders and deer antlers he had hunted. Despite the materials, he couldn't find any blueprints to use them. Qi Shuefa could apparently make them into medicine. Even Ji Chaoyang was surprised. "You can make medicine?" Qi Shuefa. "My grandfather was a traditional doctor. I learned some of it from him." Su Xian frowned. Traditional medicine usually worked slowly, which was less useful in their precarious world. Immediate effect herbs like bleeding grass were more practical. Still, a potential healer was invaluable. Su Xian privately messaged Ji Chuyang to exchange some blue-grade apples. Ji Chaoyang suggested trading with apricots, which Su Xian agreed to. He had over 100 apricots and didn't mind. Apple, blue. Consumable fruit. Enhances strength for 30 minutes. This allowed a person to temporarily exceed their limits. Highly valuable. Yep. Coco tugged at Su Xian's clothes, hungry. Silver King had already finished eating. All right, finished roasting. Here you go." Su Xian placed Coco on the table, gave it a small piece of grilled meat and some ordinary fruits. Coco ate heartily, face smeared with oil. While eating, Su Xian pondered. Still so much to do. After dinner, Su Xian exchanged some green resources on the trading platform for strawberry seeds, choosing strawberries after much deliberation. They were low-growing, perfect for indoor planting. 1 soil patch could hold multiple plants. He planted 5 seeds in the flower pot. After the 5th, a prompt warned no more could be planted. He then applied the fertilizer carefully. The soil was green-grade at first. Gradually, the fertilizer penetrated the soil. The seeds sprouted rapidly, vines grew, and strawberries appeared. The soil's green glow turned blue. Success. It became fertile soil. However, the strawberries remained green-grade. Su Xian harvested them and replanted 5 new seeds. Moments later, new shoots appeared, Strawberry seedling, blue. Grows to fruit in 3 days. Very fragile. Don't step on it. 3 days. Su Xin also planted one in outdoor soil, which took 5 days to fruit. In other words, the flower pot reduced growth time by 40%. Really useful. Su Xin thought, impressed. Chapter 76. Dr. Candidate. Su Xin took a bite of the fresh strawberries he had just harvested. Normal strawberries, sweet at the tip, but tasteless at the base. That he washed a basin of strawberries and, while eating, contacted Qi Shuifei, who wanted to collect medicinal materials. I have a few snake gallbladders and deer antlers, but they're all green-grade. Do you want them? Qi Shuifei replied quickly. Yes, I can trade you green-grade bleeding grass. I don't need green-grade bleeding grass, Su Xin said, feeding Coco a strawberry. I mean, can you make medicine with these materials and share some with me? Qi Shuifei was silent for a long while before replying. It's still experimental. Finished products will only be available after some time. If you want them, you'll have to wait until then. Su Xin wasn't sure if she was telling the truth. Did Qi Shuifei really have the ability to make medicine? Ordinary medicine? Or something that could be recognized by the treehouse system and gain entry abilities? He thought it over and decided to invest in this seemingly doctor-capable woman. After all, the materials were basically useless to him. They had no practical effect in his hands. How long until the finished product? Su Xin asked, placing the remaining half basin of strawberries in front of Coco, who immediately buried its head and started eating. About 3 days, she replied. That Su Xin squinted, opening the trading platform to check, then made a confirming expression. You're connected to the group, Xian Huji Shi, aren't you? Su Xin asked unexpectedly. She was the last member to join their group. She had joined at night, while Su Xin was asleep. During the day she joined, the Xian Huji Shi group had already started being active in the regional chat. Even now, Su Xin saw them advertising bleeding grass, green, in the regional chat, selling at high prices. That Su Xin always wondered. Where did they get so much bleeding grass? Didn't they know that such a healing herb was extremely rare? Selling it would reduce their own supply. One possibility. They had a method to quickly grow or cultivate bleeding grass. Qi Shuifei had a considerable amount of blue-grade bleeding grass. How much, Su Xin didn't know, but from his own experience, wild bleeding grass was always solitary. How did she get so many blue-grade ones? Just the 3 she sold to him. Su Xin checked the trading platform. All trades for bleeding grass tag Xian Huji Shi had a note. Priority for those materials that can be made into medicine. This aligned with Qi Shuifei's earlier message in the group chat. I don't know what you mean, she replied after a long time. I mean no harm. If you don't want to explain, that's fine. Here, take these materials. I hope in 3 days you can give me satisfactory results. Su Xin initiated the trade directly. You're just giving them to me? She hesitated, not clicking the trade confirmation. It's not a gift. Consider it a demonstration of goodwill. I'll collect the finished product in 3 days. But don't think of cheating. If you are untrustworthy and claim the materials without producing results, I think you wouldn't want to face the consequences of crossing the number 1 on both leaderboards, the strongest group, explorers. After a long pause, she confirmed the trade. I have no relation to Xian Huji Shi, but I accept the trade. I'll deliver results in 3 days. Good. I'll wait. If you get new materials, you can come trade with me. I have iron spears, swords, and heavy crossbows, all available. Meanwhile, in another 2-story treehouse, a woman wearing a beginner set sat on her bed, staring at her watch, looking conflicted. The thin outfit did nothing to hide her stunning figure. Her long, clean hair was tied back neatly, and her appearance was elegant, not at all like someone who had been hunting for 2 days. Not surprising. Trading with someone who's ranked first twice really brings pressure, she sighed, a helpless smile on her face. Looks like my comment in the group gave me away. Her watch vibrated suddenly. Another private message came. It was Ji Chaoyang. Qi Shuifei straightened. This second-ranked Ji Chaoyang must want to trade. She indeed needed medicinal materials. 5 minutes later, she remained silent. She felt silly for hiding her ability and even sillier for leaving that comment in the group. Not surprising. 2-time second-ranked player, she muttered. A single comment had revealed her secret. Luckily, Ji Chaoyang was just seeking cooperation and asked casually. Seems like hiding is unnecessary. I need to discuss with Xiao Xian how to handle this. Su Xian sent a video to Li Wenxi. Video calls had become normal between them. In a world where life was precarious and danger was constant, being able to chat face-to-face with a pretty girl was a small comfort. She answered quickly. On video, she was in her treehouse as well. Congrats, Scholar Su. First again. Li Wenxi smiled at her dining table, eating dinner. Cooking? You built a kitchen? Doesn't it take a lot of round wood? Su Xian asked, looking at her simple stir-fried dishes, salivating. He missed cooking. After so long eating grilled meat, stir-fry was a luxury. The Points shop lets you exchange for green-grade fertilizer, cheap, 5 points a bag. With 20% off, just 4 points. I used my pre-ripened roundwood anyway. Fertilizer isn't rare, she said nonchalantly. She wasn't wrong. Su Xian calculated. A kitchen required over 100 pieces of roundwood, about 20 trees, a lot. He only had 50 green-grade fertilizers, and using 20 to build a kitchen would be extravagant. You really know how to enjoy life. Su Xian shook his head. Well, fertilizer sitting and used just gathers dust. Use it early, enjoy it early, she said, taking a bite of stir-fry. But no salt, the flavor is a bit bland. I have some, Su Xian replied. Oh, if only I could find a salt mine soon. What did you say? Li Wenxi, holding a piece of meat on her chopsticks, suddenly slammed it down and stood up, sending the meat flying out of the camera. Su Xian laughed. Don't be so dramatic. I just found a salt mine. I can make a salt extractor and offer it to all survivors. Wow, perfect. I've been eating unsalted food for days, especially this wild meat, dry, gamey, and no salt. It's awful. So trade with me? I'll give you salt for your iron blocks. Absolutely fine. Li Wenxi turned the camera behind her. Piles of metal blocks. Clear some inventory for me. I've stacked it on the second floor. You could also make a few backpacks for storage. Beast hides are too abundant now. Good point. Why didn't I think of that? Chapter 77. Opening salt trade. Su Xian traded enough iron blocks with Li Wenxi for salt, and the two chatted a while longer before ending the call. Talking with this little beauty always helped him relax his mindset. He listed the salt on the trading platform, pricing it at 1 green-grade resource for 5G of salt, available for direct trade. He added a note. If you have blue-grade resources, DM me. This time, he did not use anonymity. The name Su Xian was well known, which also acted as a kind of promotion. Explorer Group, Chad Zhao Xiaochuan. Whoa. I was browsing the trading platform and suddenly found that Su Xian listed salt. Wang Lei. Salt. Holy cow. I'm going to check it out. Qin Yunlong. Salt? Coarse or fine? Su Xian hadn't expected it to be discovered so quickly. A glance at the platform showed that his non-anonymous salt listing was right at the top, the most prominent position. So this is the invisible benefit of being first on the leaderboard, he replied in the group. It's fine salt. Anyone who wants some can trade directly on the platform or bring blue-grade resources to me. Wang Lei, wow. 1 green resource for 5G, Su Xian is being unfair. Li Wenxi, unfair? People need only about 5G of salt a day. 1 green resource buys a day's worth. That's fair. Qin Yunlong, fine salt. Yeah, not expensive. At this moment, Ji Chaoyang sent a private message. You found a salt mine. I've been watching, but you found it first. 2 blue-grade apples for some salt. Deal? Su Xian replied, completing the trade with Ji Chaoyang. Salt is a vital necessity. Its absence may not show immediate effects, but long-term deficiency can cause muscle weakness, dizziness, nausea, vomiting, cramps, and other dangerous symptoms, potentially fatal in this perilous world. Regional channel explodes. Whoa. Su Xian is selling salt. Amazing. I've been here a week, eating unsalted food. I can't take it anymore. Long live Su Xian. I bought it, fine salt. I thought it was crude filtered salt. 1 green resource for 5G? That's expensive. Lower the price. Give it for free. Expensive? Do you know how rare salt is? Be grateful he sells it at all. For free. You were anonymous. Show your name. Unexpectedly, many people defended him. Unlike Ji Chaoyang, Su Xian didn't post daily strategies in the regional chat, but his reputation made him respected, especially after ranking first this time. Those who survived several events probably had some green resources, though some may hoard them. Unwilling to trade even one for a day's salt, Su Xian's inbox exploded with requests and complaints. Some asked for lower prices, others scolded him morally. He simply blacklisted those people, blocking any future trades. They could cause trouble in dangerous situations. Others approached with blue-grade resources. Checking their names, most were top 100 leaderboard members, so owning blue-grade resources was normal. Most offered less valuable blue-grade fruits, and Su Xian gave 50 G of salt per trade point. 50 G might seem like 10 days' supply, but in reality, people often use more salt in cooking, so the actual intake is smaller. Su Xian didn't think he sold too cheaply. Blue-grade fruits were useful, as he had 2 mouths to feed at home. Trading blue-grade resources, Su Xian sent a message to Qin Yunlong. Selling blue-grade waterweed now? 3 waterweeds for 2 green-grade iron spears, okay? A reasonable price. Waterweed isn't like apples or oranges, which produce hundreds of fruits per tree. This was true blue-grade material, like bleeding grass, granting underwater breathing for a limited time. Far more valuable than self-healing resources. That Su Xian agreed and crafted 2 iron spears for Qin Yunlong. Do you have aggressive water creatures like crocodiles there? Su Xian asked after trading. Yes, I killed them before collecting resources, Qin Yunlong replied. What about piranhas? No piranhas, only crocodiles and a few large aggressive fish. I killed them all. Do you have piranhas? Yes, but the group is too large. I don't dare dive yet. Any ideas? Qin Yunlong advised. With current gear, not much you can do. If the lake is flowing, maybe poison it, but I don't know the self-cleaning time. Better stock enough water before trying. Su Xian had considered poisoning the lake with contaminated meat, which would kill piranhas, but the side effects were severe. Dead piranhas release toxins, killing other fish, and could create mutated piranhas, making the problem worse. Forget it. The piranhas haven't spread much. I'll wait until tomorrow's event. Crafting armor with his tasks done for the day, Su Xian remembered the leather armor materials he gathered. The temptation of the Point Mall almost made him forget that he went to the weapons and armor crafting station and used blue-grade beast bones and hides to craft a leather armor set. Item description: frowny face leather armor set. Blue. 4 pieces. Enhances stealth. Reduces detection by enemies. Perfect for sneaking. Ideal for Su Xian. Compared to iron armor, Su Xian preferred this leather set. The world had too many threats he couldn't face directly. Survival and stealth mattered more than combat. He tried it on. Walking a few steps, he noticed almost no sound from his footsteps or the armor. Stealth greatly improved. Tomorrow's dungeon exploration? This is the set. Finally, with all his tasks done, Su Xian lay down and drifted into sleep, hoping tomorrow's event would be simpler. Chapter 78. Dungeon Treasure Hunt. The next morning, Su Xian woke naturally. The clear bird songs and the occasional calls of small animals outside his treehouse gave him a feeling of being on a mountain retreat. If life could always be this peaceful, without the so-called activities, Su Xian could perhaps live leisurely in this beautiful, fresh, animal-filled jungle. Dreams were nice, but today, he still had work to do. That he glanced at his watch, 7 a.m., with the activity starting at 9 a.m. He had 2 hours of rest left. Kiki was still curled up beside him, hugging his fluffy brown and white tail as he slept soundly. This time's activity was called Dungeon Treasure Hunt, probably similar to the previous jungle exploration event. Su Xian thought to himself. This time, he'd really have to rely on Kiki, the little treasure panda. Last time, if Kiki hadn't dragged him along, he likely wouldn't have found the golden treasure chest. Breakfast preparation. After washing up, Su Xian prepared breakfast. Using a boning knife, he sliced some beast meat thinly and placed it on the grill, sprinkling salt while cooking. The smell of grilled meat woke Kiki and Yinwang, who immediately ran to him. As usual, Su Xian gave Yinwang a piece of raw meat, letting Kiki enjoy the grilled meat with some vegetables and fruit. He didn't grill for Yinwang because wolves maintain their wild instincts and combat ability when eating raw meat. Otherwise, they'd just become a pet dog. Explorer Group chat updates when Guixin. Boss, the leaderboard and rewards are out. Are we recruiting new members? Ji Chaiyong, not this time. The differences between 4th and 20th place aren't significant, and they don't have tools for constant communication. Recruiting can wait. Shin. All right, next time then. Su Xian didn't care much about recruiting either. The 9 members of their organization all had unique abilities, like treehouse modifications. Among the top 20, except for these 3, the others were mediocre. Extra points would only grant minor mall discounts. No need to recruit them. Preparing gear after breakfast, Su Xian prepared his equipment: leather armor, worn iron armor, stored in backpack crossbow, and spears. Must-bring sword, crafted from blue-grade iron blocks since dungeons often have narrow spaces. The long spear could be cumbersome. A sword was more flexible. He also crafted a leather scabbard to avoid noise when drawing the sword, giving him a swordsman's feel. He packed functional food into his backpack and waited for the activity to start. Activity announcement. A mysterious voice sounded. Survivors, today's activity is about to begin. Listen carefully. Within each of your treehouse protection zones lies a hidden dungeon containing treasures left by predecessors. The entrance is now open. This event is Dungeon Treasure Hunt. In the next 2 days, find the dungeon and obtain its treasures. Friendly reminder: do not explore outside your treehouse protection zone. Terrible things may happen. Event rewards last from today 9 a.m. to tomorrow 6 p.m. Do not slack off. Anyone who fails to find the dungeon entrance will forever leave this beautiful world. We hope survivors collect abundant treasures inside the dungeon. Dungeon Treasure Hunt now begins. The dungeon was within the treehouse's protection range, but Su Xian wondered whether underground monsters would appear. The treehouse only protected the surface. The dungeon could be dangerous. Searching for the dungeon. Su Xian looked out the treehouse window. On the surface, nothing seemed unusual. The jungle looked the same as yesterday. His protection zone was 4 times larger than most, making it easier for him to locate the entrance than others. Looking at the map, after the hunting activity, many red dots appeared, mostly herbivores drinking water at nearby lakes. But there was no label indicating a dungeon, nor clusters of red dots that might suggest one. Su Xian felt somewhat helpless. Similar to the start of the last treasure hunt, when searching for the copper chest, he looked at the little creature climbing onto his shoulder and stroked its soft tail. This time, I'm counting on you, Kiki. Yep. Kiki tilted its head, unaware of what was going on. Do you sense anything unusual around? Su Xian set Kiki on the ground to look outside. Yep. Kiki shook its head. Su Xian sighed and glanced at the regional channel, where many were discussing the event. If you find the dungeon, can't you just skip entering it? Dungeon sounds dangerous. I'm not going in. Once someone finds the dungeon, they can share the location. The entrance might follow a pattern. We can explore safely after knowing its layout. The last comment was from Ji Chaoyang, aiming to gather information collectively so others could follow. That Su Xian knew survival wouldn't be that easy. Simply finding the dungeon entrance wouldn't guarantee safety. The first crisis probably awaited right at the entrance. Ji Chaoyang was aware of this, but kept hope for everyone. Approaching the dungeon entrance, Su Xian ignored the chatter. Revealing his thoughts publicly might cause more people to stay in their tree houses, lowering the chance of discovering the entrance. He decided to investigate the area near the golden chest's underground entrance. With Yin Wang, his mobility was strong. Within minutes, they arrived at the dungeon entrance, a wasteland that had been a flower field, destroyed after the death of the blood-mouthed man-eating plant. Su Xian paused, letting Yin Wang guard the entrance while he and Kiki entered. Above the closed iron gate, the soil looked redder than last time, almost soaked as if in blood. Previously, it had been a faint red. Now it seemed polluted by the red mist, turning the soil into contaminated soil. Could this foul red mist be the source of pollution? Excessive inhalation might mutate beings into monsters. He and Kiki had inhaled some, but aside from the smell, their bodies were unharmed. Chapter 79. Encountering the creek giant crocodile again. Kiki, do you sense anything unusual around here? Su Xian asked once again, glancing at the little panda on his shoulder. Kiki. The panda shook its head. Perhaps the abnormality wasn't here. That made sense. Descending from this entrance didn't lead to the dungeon. It led to a vast underground world, far beyond their current level. The dungeon mentioned by the mysterious voice must be a newly opened entrance. Not this old one Su Xian had already discovered. Releasing the red mist, Su Xian looked at the iron door and decided to release the red mist inside, just like he did the first time he entered. Better to handle it now that he gripped the rusty iron handle and said to Kiki, "Hold on tight, Kiki. Be ready to run." Kiki, taking a deep breath, Su Xian heaved the iron door open. His strength had increased since his first visit. The door swung open immediately, and a mass of red mist poured out that he sprinted out, mounted Yin Wang, and quickly escaped. "Let's go, Yin Wang. Let's patrol the area." Arg. Looking back from a distance, Su Xian saw the red mist spreading across the wasteland, only to be scattered by the wind that he rode around the area with Yin Wang, keeping an eye on the map for changes, but found no sign of the dungeon entrance. The forest around him was dense, and Kiki showed no reaction. Could it be in a different direction? Su Xian frowned. This area was the only place connected to the underground. Regional channel updates. He opened his watch to check the regional channel. It was quiet. Almost everyone was searching for the dungeon entrance. Just as he was losing hope, someone shouted, "I found the dungeon entrance." Su Xian immediately perked up. "Where did you find it?" This time, he didn't hide his identity. "Whoa. Su Xian. Big boss. I found it in a cave near my home. I was fixing some stones in the cave when I heard a strange sound from deep inside. I followed it to the end of the mine and discovered a narrow new passage, a tiny opening. That strange sound was coming from there. I've fully explored this cave before, and this path is definitely new. It must be the dungeon entrance." Ji Chaoyang asked, "Did you encounter any danger when discovering the opening?" "Big boss, Ji Chaoyang. No danger. I just heard strange sounds, so I didn't enter. There might be danger inside, though." Su Xian immediately thought of the Black Bear cave he first encountered. Several times he entered that cave, he heard strange wind-like sounds, like some subterranean cavern making a low hum. He never figured out the source. "Looks like it really is the Black Bear cave." Su Xian patted his palm. "How did I miss something so obvious?" He replied in the channel, "Thanks. After entering the dungeon, I'll share what's inside." "No need to thank me, Boss Su. I'll wait for your guide. You focus on your adventure." Returning to the old underground entrance, Su Xian rode Yin Wang back to the old underground entrance. The red mist had dissipated completely. The ladder and iron walls in the passage were rustier than last time. Could it be from the red mist? Su Xian wondered. Perhaps the passage has a limited number of entries. Repeated exposure to the mist might render it unusable. He decided not to think about it for now. Facing the giant underground monsters wasn't on the agenda yet. Before leaving, he closed the iron door, not wanting any strange creatures to escape, and avoiding further contamination from the red mist. Patrolling and killing wildcats riding through the forest, Su Xian shot a wildcat with his crossbow. Wildcat killed, points earned. 1. Indeed, it still granted points, though less than in the hunting event. Previously 5 points. While processing the wildcat corpse, Su Xian remembered the giant crocodile's location, in the creek near the Black Bear Cave entrance, that he wanted to ask the crocodile for help in clearing the lake's piranhas. For this giant fearsome croc, piranhas were likely insignificant. A single bite might kill several at once. Its combat level seemed comparable to the giant anaconda in the lake, and it hadn't shown hostility. Deciding to befriend it, Su Xian returned to the treehouse and brought 200 kilograms of leftover wild boar meat as a gift. Not much for such a giant, but a gesture nonetheless. Encountering the giant crocodile, he reached the creek near the Black Bear Cave. The water was fast-flowing but crystal clear. If not for Su Xian knowing the rocky creek bed was the croc's back, he wouldn't notice anything unusual. Tentatively, Su Xian said, "Brother Crocodile, are you there?" Immediately, a small whirlpool appeared in the center of the creek, as if responding. It was still here. Checking the map, no red dot appeared. Confirming it wasn't hostile, Su Xian placed the 200 kilograms of pork on the creek bank. "Brother Crocodile, I promise to bring you treats. It's not much, but consider it a snack." Slowly, a pair of eyes emerged from the water, locking on the meat. Then, a massive fearsome crocodile surfaced, wading towards Su Xian. The creek was shallow relative to its size, but Su Xian's face twitched. He forced himself not to back off. Its size was intimidating, but the map confirmed it wasn't hostile. Retreating might offend it. Inwang showed slight fear, pressing against Su Xian. Kiki, however, was unafraid, squeaking in greeting. The croc grabbed the pork, lifted its massive head, and swallowed all 200 kilograms in one gulp. Kiki's eyes widened. Kiki. The croc loaded deep, relaxed growl, showing some goodwill, then submerged. The creek returned to its normal state. Su Xian waved. I'll leave for now, brother crocodile. See you next time. Kiki waved in response, and a whirlpool appeared once more. The croc acknowledged them. It seemed they had gained its favor. Su Xian planned to ask for its help with the piranhas after the event. Heading into the Black Bear Cave finally, Su Xian turned toward the Black Bear Cave entrance. Even from a distance, he could hear stronger wind-like sounds inside, louder than before, confirming that the dungeon entrance lay within. With Inwang and Kiki, Su Xian carefully stepped into the Black Bear Cave. Chapter 80. The newly appeared crevice. The cave was dark, but as Su Xian stepped inside, he could clearly hear that the wind-like sound was coming from deep within. After eating a red berry, everything became clear in his mind. The Black Bear Cave wasn't very deep. He could see the end at a glance. But now, the deepest part of the cave had changed in a way he had never seen before. The narrow crevice. There was a narrow crevice, only a few dozen centimeters wide and about 2 meters high. Stones lay scattered outside the crevice, as if something had pushed its way out from inside, opening this gap. That strange poo-hoo wind sound came from this crevice. This must be the small tunnel someone in the regional channel mentioned. Judging by the sound, it definitely felt like a dungeon entrance. The map didn't show any red dots ahead, but Su Xian remained cautious. He knew that underground monsters don't appear on the map until they surface. Even though this was within the Treehouse protection zone, and monsters would die quickly if they appeared, a sudden ambush could still injure him. So caution was warranted. Buffing up before entering, Su Xian consumed some oranges and apricots, stacking his mental and physical buffs. Taking a deep breath, he approached the crevice. Kiki. On taking just 2 steps, the little panda on his shoulders squeaked loudly. Danger! Su Xian immediately went on alert. He knew Kiki's calls all too well after these days together. It meant there was danger ahead. Yet, despite the danger, he had no choice but to proceed. Preparing for battle. The crevice was extremely narrow. The spear was useless. Su Xian drew the iron sword he had just crafted. If something emerged, he would slice it immediately. The crevice was so tight that he had to turn sideways to enter. Peering inside, he could see it went deep with a corner, disappearing from view. Whoa! Inwang let out a helpless howl, sitting at the entrance. Its broad shoulders were too wide to fit. Well, my only combat companion is useless here. Su Xian muttered. If it were only the entrance, he could try breaking it open with the spear. But the entire passage was narrow, making it impossible to clear a path all the way through. So he left Inwang behind with a piece of meat, telling it to howl if there was trouble, and proceeded with Kiki into the crevice. Going deeper, the new passage was no longer a cave, just a slit. As soon as they entered, the strange hoo-hoo wind sound became much louder. Confined spaces naturally made him uneasy, especially with potential danger lurking at any moment. Su Xian steeled himself and moved sideways forward. The crevice showed newly broken rocks only at the entrance. Further inside, the walls were covered in dust and aged marks, clearly not a new formation. The crevice had existed long ago, only the entrance had been blocked before. The path sloped slightly downward, meaning they were going deeper underground. Kiki's instincts. Kiki. Suddenly, Kiki jumped down, tugged at Su Xian's armor, and ran ahead. Kiki, don't run. Danger! Su Xian shouted instinctively, but then realized. Kiki only ran forward because there was no danger it could sense. Was Kiki clearing the way for him? Biting his teeth, Su Xian quickened his pace. The passage narrowed further. After only a few dozen meters, they had to remain sideways to proceed. Wow! If someone was fatter, they couldn't even get through. Su Xian muttered as he squeezed forward. Kiki. At a corner a few meters ahead, Su Xian spotted a small head peeking out. Following, he realized why Kiki had paused. The corner led to 3 possible paths. Point 1 continued forward, 1 veered left, 1 to the right. Three directions. Su Xian squinted at a dangerous choice. He guessed that only one path was correct. Choosing wrong could be a trap leading to doom. In such a narrow crevice. Fighting a single monster was manageable, but if creatures emerged from multiple directions, survival would be nearly impossible. He studied the three paths. Each twisted shortly after the entrance, so he couldn't see ahead, and there were no markings. The map only showed the surface cave and forest, not this labyrinth. Even after investigation, Su Xian found no obvious clues. Is this purely luck? Or does it not matter if I go wrong? Su Xian frowned. Kiki ran back and forth in front of the three paths, occasionally glancing inside, still unable to decide. Can you sense which path is dangerous now? Su Xian whispered. Kiki. The little panda paused, then pointed left, then center, then right. All dangerous? Su Xian asked. Kiki. Which one is the most dangerous? Kiki. The panda shook its head, indicating it didn't know. Su Xian exhaled, calming himself. All directions were dangerous, so perhaps he would have to try one at a time. Contacting Li Wenci before proceeding recklessly, he sent Li Wenci a private message. Have you found the entrance? Li Wenci had told him her treehouse was surrounded by mine tunnels. If the entrance appeared in caves, she would likely find it. Almost immediately, she replied, I found it. I went to a mine that already had strange sounds, just like the person in the regional channel said. There was a new small entrance inside. Su Xian called her via voice chat. Did you enter? Yes, but there are so many branches, I got lost. Li Wenci admitted embarrassedly. Lost? Su Xian was stunned. You just went in like that? Not just like that. I left markers. But there are so many paths, I got lost. Many branches? Su Xian looked at the three paths in front of him. This wasn't just a single branching point. This was a labyrinth cave.